calibration, one of my favorite $6 words. I don't think it's quite a $10 word. I think it's about a $6.50 word because it's used rather commonly. How do you massage all of those various factors that you must deal with, internal to you and external to you, to maximize your own advantage on any given dimension? Today, at the University of Smooth, how do you calibrate your violence? Issue that standard disclaimer. We do not encourage people to go into the streets and attack other human beings. But as we say at the University of Smooth, violence is integral to female desire. They love it too much because that's how they were designed to love. So let's start with attraction. In life, you can attract women without violence. In fact, it's better that you do. It is preferred that you attract women into your life by nonviolent means. Perhaps the most ideal way a man can utilize to attract women into his life is celebrity, fame. Get as many eyeballs on you as possible, and there's a certain percentage of them will be attractive women who will want access to you. Beyond that, on a much smaller scale, things like social circle, status, and even money. Yeah, we have this weird, strange relationship with money, but it's always there. And so we're going to run through a few examples here to explain how critical it is for you after you attract women into your life or through the process of attracting women into your life, that if you do not have and cannot display the capacity for violence, you will not convert that attraction into genuine desire. Let's first start with, we'll call it the soft rich guy. Metaphorically speaking, this is the dude with a lot of status and a lot of cash who doesn't get his hands dirty. He's a corporate guy, maybe he's a doctor who gets his hands dirty in surgery, but then washes them off and cashes a big fat fucking check. Women will pursue a man who has a lot of money, no matter how soft he is, because we live in a world that goes well beyond just that violence attraction dynamic, that violence arousal dynamic. You need to navigate the world as a woman in plenty of ways that do not require violence and in which violence is going to undermine your goals. A nice, soft, rich guy who's a complete doormat is perfect for this. A woman who pursues him may be able to get access to him and his status and his money, and she will invest heavily in this guy. But men, you know the difference between this and genuine desire. This is calculated desire. This is sublimated desire. Perhaps it is performative desire. Now, that's a $7.50 word, performative. This is a woman who is giving the impression of desire because there's something there that she wants. But our little equation is like, look, if there's no violence there, you have to question where the desire comes from and where it's going. Alternative example in the same pushover category is the kid who gets bullied a lot, the kid who gets bullied and bullied and bullied and bullied until he snaps. This is also poorly calibrated violence. This young man, no one wants anything to do with him whatsoever, in part because he has demonstrated he has zero capacity for violence. In fact, he cowers from it. He avoids confrontation. And if he doesn't snap, tragically, many of these men grow up to simply be those invisible men that I am trying to reach and that women will just never notice. And if he does snap, ironically, if he goes on a rampage, he will weirdly become more attractive. Final example I will give is a friend of mine. I hang out with this dude in town who is a bit of a player. He really knows his stuff. We go out a lot. We enjoy ourselves. We have a good time. He is tall. He is really good looking, and he is very, very charismatic. And he's also extremely nice and accommodating, two qualities that are normally not associated with attraction in women. But when you make up for it in all sorts of other male value, then again, it gets back to that equation. When you're attractive, all these things are great. When you're unattractive, they're liabilities. This guy, despite being nice, he has a simmering belligerence that underscores all of his interactions. We will be at a bar talking casually, and if something annoys him, he will vocalize it. He will vocalize it kind of like an 8-year-old would when they're annoyed with something. And if the focus of his annoyance happens to be some other person who's sitting there, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck if that person hears him. He will have no hesitation to be confrontational. Now, would he run away like a big pussy if somebody actually called him out on some of his quasi belligerent behavior? Who knows? I've been out with him a lot. No one ever does. But when you are a woman and you observe a man interacting with other men and other women, and you see a man with all of these qualities, and he signals a complete and total lack of fear through his interactions, that he is comfortable with the idea of confrontation, that is an arousing quality to women. So where do you fit along this spectrum? Give it some thought, reflect on it, and focus on how you can calibrate your own violence. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and final thought. We always go back to our roadmap: get jacked, learn game, convert your talent to clout. We stand by it. That is simultaneously consistent with the need for a capacity for violence, as well as the need to regulate that violence, and when it's necessary, to supersede that violence with all sorts of other qualities. But it is important for you to understand that that capacity never, ever, ever goes away when we're discussing and addressing what it is that women desire in men. Take care.